What is up, my friends? It is Tuesday afternoon's Anfield Agenda news roundup. We will be back with another news video tonight at about 10 o'clock, so make sure you keep your eyes out for that one. Until then, I'm going to do my best to fill you in on the latest Liverpool transfer news. It feels like one of those days where once again the journalists tell us who we aren't interested in, with very little confirmation of who, if any, players Liverpool are actually going after in this summer transfer window. I'm going to do my best to call out the stories that I think are nonsensical, but of course I want you guys to let us know your thoughts in the comment section. Drop a like on the video if you enjoy it, and please don't forget to hit that subscribe button. Just a reminder as well, the tickets for our live shows are still on sale via the link in the description of this video, or of course you can scan the QR code in the bottom right hand corner of your screen. August the 2nd, we are at the Richard Burton Theatre in Cardiff, and August the 4th, we are at the Hot Water Comedy Club in Liverpool. Both are all ages events, and as I mentioned, tickets are available via the link, priced at just £15. Right, my friends, let's get into it. So, James Pearce of The Athletic has said Caoimhín Kelleher and Luis Diaz remain part of Arne Slot's plans for the season, and only offers above 25 million and 50 million respectively could make Liverpool reconsider. Again, I don't know who they're trying to kid here, and I like James Pearce, I really do, but I don't know who they think they're fooling with these stories. So they start off by saying that Kelleher and Diaz remain part of the plans, and also they can be sold for the right number. They really aren't part of the plans for obvious reasons. One, Caoimhín most likely would like to depart and become a number one, and that's totally understandable. Every Liverpool fan would love to keep Caoimhín, but they understand his career is a priority. With Diaz, I think we're all just, again, being codded here by the journalists. We know Barca want him. We know there's a number Liverpool will accept. Let's just be honest with ourselves and know that if they sell Rafinha, they're coming for Diaz. So these stories, I don't know who the journalists are trying to kid with them, but no Liverpool fan that I'm aware of will fall for it, because we can see straight through it. Now, one thing the club did announce today is that they have unveiled another sponsorship agreement, this time with Japan Air. It is a 5-year deal, so hopefully you would imagine that that would bring more money into the club, which should hopefully give Arne Slot and the recruitment team a little bit more wiggle room. But of course, as has always been the case so far this summer, I find that the journalists are brilliant at telling us who we don't want, but not one single one of them from the English side tell us who we're actually after. So you either know information or you don't. I get that they try to manage expectations. I get that the club brief them what they want to know. But please, for the love of God, stop taking us for idiots, and please give us actual transfer information if you have it. Some people are probably watching this going, yes, Craig, we would like you to do the same. I've always told you, I'm not a journalist. I correlate the news, bring it to you guys, we discuss it and we see if it's real or not. But it's just negativity. They're just so frustrating, because year after year I feel like as fans we go into every transfer window with ambitions and hope, and then we get negativity all the way through. So let's just hope that they are wrong and that there is transfer news coming, because I don't believe for 1 second half the stuff that they're saying. And this one, the latest one, is another very confusing one. It says Nico Williams not on Liverpool's radar. Spain forward and Athletic Bilbao star Nico Williams is not a player that Liverpool are considering making a move for this summer, according to The Athletic. So again, we have another outlet. I don't know if this was James Pearce of The Athletic or if it was somebody else. Another outlet saying, well, we're not in for this player, and we're also telling you that we're not going to sell Diaz unless we get an offer above X amount, in which case he'll need to be replaced, in which case we most likely will go for... Exactly. So if they're trying to tell us one thing and taking us for idiots with the other, I don't know if Liverpool will sign Nico Williams or not. It's not my call to make, it's not your call to make. But I know many of us would very much like to sign Nico Williams, because we believe that Diaz will be gone. And even if he isn't, we still need to look to the future. Maybe not so much on the left-hand side then, but certainly to the right. So on this one again, Arsenal will probably be interested in Nico Williams, and if he goes there and they get themselves another young, prodigious talent, we're playing catch-up once again. So let us know your thoughts on this revelation from The Athletic that Liverpool aren't considering Nico Williams. The bad news just keeps coming, I'm afraid, folks, and I don't mean to be that bearer today, but as I always say, I can only report what's been put out there. Riccardo Calafiori agreement close. but just not with Liverpool, according to Sasha Tavalieri. He said it's basically a matter of time until he joins Juventus. They go on about it being a formality and that the two clubs will just have to agree a fee. Obviously played very well for Italy again in the Euros. Somebody who Richard Hughes will have extensive knowledge of from his contacts, and somebody who could do very well in Liverpool's system as a centre-back. But yet again, the journalists tell us that, well, it's not going to be us and that he's going to go to Juventus. So who on earth are we after? Because it's not Inacio, it's not Diamonde. Is it Mark Gay of Palace? Potentially, and that would be a good signing. But Calafiori ticks a lot of boxes. So if we're not interested in him, I'm just giving up at this point, trying to figure it all out. With Toro Endo, David Lynch has said Liverpool face a potential blow with Toro Endo hoping to be called up with the Olympics for Japan. Again, it's almost like we need a number 6, David, isn't it? And I know David will say that he's not going to miss any of the start of the league campaign, but he will be back just as the league gets underway, so no real pre-season there. And Liverpool, of course, according to the journalists, can't find a number 6 anywhere on the planet that would be better than the ones that we have. That's the spin that's been put out there. That's, again, the medicine that we're all being asked to take and swallow. It's just nonsense. Of course, there's many out there, and I refuse to believe we're not going to bring in a number 6 in this window. Particularly when Endo himself has said with his age it would probably be the right thing to do. So let's wait and see what happens with this. I want to know though in the comments, before I move on to a couple of other stories, one positive one to end with, by the way, so don't be going anywhere. I've left the best till last. But I want to know, are you feeling as frustrated as I am at the minute with the spin from the journalists? Because it's all negative, negative, negative. And like I say in every window, it feels like our expectations are being managed and we're a little bit browbeaten into almost admitting defeat whenever there's any other club in for a player. It just really becomes annoying and tiring at this point, because we are Liverpool Football Club. We should have plenty of money to spend. What are we doing? What are we doing? I know everyone will say, relax Craig, the window's only open, but I've been here before. I've seen this. It just ends up kicking the can down the road. Something dramatic will happen around Salah or Diaz, and then we'll be in panic mode. And we haven't even looked at the Trent, Virgil and Salah contracts yet. So the whole thing is just steamballing or snowballing or rolling into a big ball of frustration. And again, feels like it's totally avoidable if we just get the finger out and start getting Arne Slot the squad that he will need to go and attack to win a Premier League. If we're not going to be in it to win the Premier League, then be honest with the fans and say that the club don't have those ambitions. But you can't tell us one thing and then show us other things in the market. You can't tell us how great we are financially, announce Japan Air and new deals, and then tell us that Liverpool are, well, we're not interested in all these great top talents that everybody else is going after. So, according to outlets in France, it will be Canade who starts today for France instead of Saliba, which will mean he fully gets his European campaign underway with the French side, which is good to see. Now, I did promise you some good news to finish up with today, so I'm not going to be just bad news bear. This breaking from TPW News HQ said that Liverpool have made contact with the representatives of Eberechi Eze. Now, I find this difficult to believe for a couple of reasons. Not because of anything around the player's quality or anything like that. He's a very good player, obviously part of the England camp for the Euros. But Palace have just lost Elise. Palace may lose Mark Gay. I can't see them being absolutely asset stripped down to the bare bones during a transfer window. They've got a new manager in there who's doing really, really well, and they're an ambitious club who are looking to push ahead. So if Liverpool are interested in Eze, are Crystal Palace really going to want to lose most of their attack other than Mateta? I can't see it happening. I've no qualms about the interest in Eze, because I think most of us would agree, whether you look at him as a winger or a number 10, he is a very likeable player and homegrown, lots of boxes ticked there. I just think it'll be a very, very difficult deal to get done. And as I said at the start of this video, if all the other centre-backs were not interested in, lead us to being interested into Mark Gay, are you really going to want to try and take 2 players from Palace in the one window? It becomes very complicated in my opinion. So, great story, good player, happy to have the link there. But again, I'd like to see this backed up by some of the British-based journalists who are telling us everyone we're not interested in, but not one of them that I've seen, and I mean not one, have told us one player that they know Liverpool are going after or targeting in this summer transfer window. So you can't have it both ways, journalists. You either know or you don't, but stop just trying to manage expectation and do the FSG bidding for them, because us fans deserve better. particularly from the likes of the Echo, who are supposed to represent the city. Tell us who we're interested in, or just put your hands up in the air and admit that you haven't got a clue and that you're all just spoofing it, because that's what it feels like in this window to me. So, my friends, it is now over to you. Let me know your thoughts. Do you agree with what I've had to say? Do you agree that we aren't interested in those players? Or, like me, are you not buying it? I think those interests are there with certain players, and the club are just trying to keep things under wraps, which is cool if we end up signing them. But if we don't, again, you want Arne Slot starting the season with goodwill and belief behind him, not frustration and anger from fans. Over to you guys. I will catch up with you tonight at around 10 o'clock for that latest transfer news video. Until then, have a wonderful Tuesday, and I'll catch up with you soon. Bye bye.